Hello, future engineers and subscribers. In this video, I'm going to discuss standard position of an angle so that you will know the positive sense of the angle as well as the negative sense, which are needed in future analysis on determining the component of a force. Then we have angular units, the different angles used. I think you're only familiar with the radian and the degree angular units. So there are any other angular units that you must know. Next, we have the Pythagoras theorem, which is the fundamental or the tool in solving right triangles. Then the six ratios on right triangles, the fundamental identities that can be derived from the Pythagoras theorem and from these six ratios here. Then we have solutions of right triangles as the last part. So that's it for this part. So for this part, let's have the standard position of an angle. The standard position of an angle, so if we have a plane here, the rectangular coordinate system, then the plane is divided into four quadrants. You already know that. So this is the first, second, third, fourth quadrant. In the first quadrant, all coordinates x and y positive, abscissa and ordinate positive. In the second quadrant, abscissa negative, ordinate positive. In the third quadrant, abscissa and ordinates, abscissas and ordinates are all negative. And in the fourth quadrant, the abscissa is positive, the ordinates negative. So this is the positive sense of angle, theta x, and the ray of the angle, terminal side of the angle lies in the second quadrant. So that would be theta x, and that's the positive sense. This is an obtuse angle if we estimate it, and we always form a right triangle defining sine theta x as adjacent or x value, which is negative, divided by hypotenuse, which is denoted r here. Sine of theta x is equal to opposite, which is y, or y divided by hypotenuse. So that's the positive sense of angle, counterclockwise. The negative, if the angle or the terminal side of the angle lies in any quadrant and it is measured in clockwise manner, just like in this illustration here, then this theta here in clockwise direction is negative. So that's negative theta x. So for the estimation of the angle, so take note that uh, for this illustration here, this angle may be estimated as positive 38 degrees, or it's up to your estimate as long as it is positive. And for this angle, so this may be approximated, but it is negative 233 degrees. So it may be like that. Then let's proceed to angular units. So here we have the quadrants, and these are the quadrantal angles. So let's begin with the radian units of angular measure. So this is 0 radian. If there's no unit appearing, it is understood radian. This is also 0 degree, 0 grads, uh, zero revolution, and the last unit is used in military, especially in shooting exercises, so that the snipers will have that uh, accurate skills. So the whole revolution is divided into 6,400 equal parts, and each part is called the mil. So that's why this is zero mil. So again, one full circle or one revolution is divided into 6,400 mil, so that uh, the soldier, for a 1 mil angle distant, then let us say 1 kilometer away or 1,000 meters away, then the distance between the ray for a 1 mil unit 1,000 meter away is about 1 meter, or very close to 1 meter. So if the object is 100 meters away, then the distance subtended by 1 mil 100 meters away is about zero point 0.1 meter or 10 centimeters. So that's the skills, so that soldiers, snipers can easily estimate the distance between rays of 1 mil. So here, this is the in counterclockwise direction. So this is the positive angle, quadrantal angle along the positive y-axis. That would be pi over 2 radians, then 90 degrees, then 100 grads. So in other words, one revolution is also divided into 400 equal parts, and each part is called grad. And in revolution, that's 1/4 revolution. Then in mils, 1,600 mils. Here we have pi radians, 180 degrees, 300 grads, 200 grads rather, sorry. Then 3/4, 1/2 of a revolution, then 3,200 mils. So if the angle falls here, the positive sense is uh, 3 pi over 2 radians, then 270 degrees, 300 grads, 3/4 of a revolution, then 4,800 mils. Then for one complete revolution, that's 2 pi radians, 360 degrees, 400 grads, one revolution, then 6,400 mils. If the angle is measured clockwise, then same zero here, 0, 0, 0. Then here, this should be negative of pi over 2, negative pi over 2 radians, negative 90 degrees here, negative 100 grads, negative 1/4 of a revolution, then negative 1,600 mils. So here, negative pi radians, negative 180 degrees, negative 200 grads, negative 1/4 of a revolution, negative 3,200 mils. So here we have negative 3 halves pi, negative 270 degrees, negative 300 grads, negative 3/4 of a revolution, then negative 4,800 mils. Then for one complete revolution in clockwise direction, you just precede all these values with a negative sign. So that's the way. And from the concept that uh, angles are negative in clockwise directions. So for let's have an example, 122 degrees. Let's convert this to radians. grads, revolution, and minutes. So for radians, we have 122 degrees times pi over 180 degrees. You can also use 2 pi, then 360 degrees here, and that is 2.129. There's no unit provided, but that is understood radians. Then in grads, that's 122 times 400 grads divided by 360 degrees, and that is equal to 135.56 grads. In revolution, 122 degrees times 1 revolution is equivalent to 360 degrees, and that's 0.3389 of a revolution. Then in meals, 122 degrees times uh, 6,400 meals over 360 degrees, and that's 2,168.9 meals. So by the way, if the quadrant is divided into 1,000 of a radian, then since since one revolution is 2 pi radians, if we multiply that by 1,000, that's about 6,283 milliradians. Then if the full circle is divided into equal parts, 6,283 by, if we divide it by 6,283, then each part is called milliradian. So that's the idea there if we have what we call milliradians. So for this part, let's have the Pythagoras theorem. And there are so many ways of deriving the Pythagoras theorem. If you want the derivation, you may watch my uh, YouTube channel in statics. You just look for the very first part. There are so many videos there until you reach trigonometry. Then you can find the derivation of the Pythagoras theorem. One derivation of the Pythagoras theorem. So if this is the triangle, these are the designation. This is the angle theta, which is also angle B in most cases. This is the complementary angle of theta, or 90 degrees minus theta degrees. This is also denoted in trigonometry by co dash theta, the complement of theta. And that is the measure of angle A also. This is the adjacent to theta, adjacent side to theta. This is the 90-degree angle, which is C in this case. This is the opposite of theta, which is B, and the hypotenuse is denoted as C. So this is the theorem. It's very important that adjacent side square equals or adjacent side square plus opposite side square equals hypotenuse square, or hypotenuse square equals adjacent side square plus opposite square. Using the symbols, this is c square equals a square plus b square. And we have common combinations of sides for you to start. Then I think you're familiar with the 3, 4, 5 combination, that 3 for the perpendicular legs, 4, and vice versa, 3, 4, they may be interchanging. So that the hypotenuse should be 5 units. 3, 4, 5. Then we have 5, 12, 13. You just check by Pythagoras theorem. Square root, or 3 square plus 4 square should be equal to 5 square. Then 5 square plus 12 square equals 13 square. You should familiar with this from your experience with trigonometry. Then we have the 8, 15, 17, and the 7, 24, 25. You just check this common combination of sides by Pythagoras theorem. Then for 30, 60 degree triangle, of course, the third is the 90-degree angle. We have 1 square root of 3 over 2, 2, and 1 square root of 2 for 45 by 45 degree right triangle. This is for 30-60 or 60-30 triangle. Opposite to 30 degrees is 1 unit. Opposite to 60 degrees is square root of 3 over 2. And opposite the 90-degree angle is 2 units. Opposite the 45-degree angle is 1. The other 45 degrees is 1. The hypotenuse opposite the 90-degree angle is square root of 2. Then we have the 6. By the way, in any triangle, the sum of the shorter sides is always greater than the longest side. So in this right triangle, this is just one triangle, right triangle. If you add the shorter sides, 3 plus 4, it is always greater than the hypotenuse. So 1 plus 2 is also greater than square root of 2. 7 plus 24, 31 is greater than 25, and so on and so forth. So that's the thing that you should also remember. So in other words, adjacent side plus opposite side should be greater than the hypotenuse. Then we have the 6 ratios definition. Sine of this angle theta is opposite over hypotenuse, and it is equal to b over c. Cosine of theta is adjacent side over hypotenuse, and that is a over c. And tangent of the angle theta is opposite over adjacent, and that is equal to b over a. And I hope that you can recall these ratios. 3 ratios are abbreviated or given the acronym SOHCAHTOA. If you can remember, SO means sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Ka means cosine of the angle is adjacent side over hypotenuse. And TOA means tangent of the angle is opposite over adjacent side. Then we have tangent. Cosecant theta is hypotenuse over opposite. So it is the reciprocal of sine theta. And that is C over B. And it is also secant of 90 degrees minus theta, or the complement of cosecant therefore is secant. And that is equal to C hypotenuse over secant of 90 degrees minus theta is hypotenuse over B. So hypotenuse over B, C over B. Then secant of theta is hypotenuse over adjacent, C over A, and that is also the cosecant of 90 degrees minus theta, which is C over A. This one, hypotenuse over uh, opposite, which is in this case A. Hypotenuse opposite of 90 degrees minus theta is this adjacent side A. But this is the definition of secant theta hypotenuse over adjacent side. Then cotangent of theta is adjacent side over opposite side, and that is A over B, and that is also the tangent of 90 degrees minus theta, which is opposite to 90 degrees minus theta, is A, and adjacent to 90 degrees minus theta is B. So from here, tangent theta is, if we divide the numerator by C, the denominator by C, so we have B over C, which is uh, sine theta, then A over C, which is cosine theta. Tangent theta, therefore, is sine theta over cosine theta. That's the other definition. Then cosecant theta is, if we divide C by C, the numerator it is 1, and the denominator B over C is sine theta. So cosecant theta is C over C, or 1 over B over C sine theta. So it is the reciprocal of sine theta. Cosecant theta is 1 over sine theta. Secant theta, if we divide C here by C, so C over C is 1, then A over C is cosine theta from here. So secant theta is 1 over cosine of theta. Then if we divide this by C, A over C is cosine. If we divide B by C, it is sine. So cotangent theta is cosine over sine of theta. Or in other words, tangent of theta is the of uh, reciprocal of cotangent theta. So tangent theta is 1 over cotangent theta. It should appear here. It's not chronologically assigned. So from the Pythagoras theorem, let's now have the three fundamental identities. C square equals A square plus B square, dividing everything by C square. Then we have C square over C square equals A square over C square plus B square over C square. Since C square over C square equals 1, and we can write this as A over C, so 1 equals quantity A over C square plus quantity B over C square. But A over C is defined as cosine theta, so this is cosine square theta, while B over C is sine theta, so this is sine square theta. So we have the fundamental identity, cosine square theta plus sine square theta equals 1. And instead, if we divide everything by cosine square theta divided by cosine square theta is 1. Sine square theta divided by cosine square theta, since sine over cosine is tangent. So this is, after dividing this by cosine square theta, this is tangent square theta. And 1 divided by cosine square of theta is secant square theta. So 1 plus tangent square theta equals secant square theta, the other fundamental identity. And and lastly, we have, if we divide everything by sine square, cosine over sine square is cotangent square theta plus sine square theta over sine square theta 1, and 1 over sine square theta is cosecant square theta. So in other words, cotangent square theta plus 1. So this is what I told you, I I was mentioning before, that tangent theta is 1 over cotangent theta. So again, dividing everything here by sine square theta. So cotangent square theta plus 1 equals cosecant square of theta. So for this part, that's identity. For this last part, let's have solutions to right triangles. And normally we use the 6 ratios and the Pythagoras theorem for this part. So first problem, solve the triangles shown and express each angle in degrees. So we have two right triangles here. So this is the first right triangle. So the given are sides A and B. Therefore, let's solve for C by Pythagoras theorem. The hypotenuse C square equals adjacent side 8 square plus 4 square. So solving for C, C is 4 square root of 5 units. Then to solve for A, opposite over adjacent, we will not involve C yet because that's an unknown, so that we can surely solve for A correctly. We use the given data. So I use tangent opposite over adjacent. Tangent of A is opposite 4, adjacent side is 8. So A is inverse tangent of 4 over 8. Using your calculator, that's 1/2, that's 26.565 degrees. And it is also needed that you can uh, memorize angles such as tangent of an angle is zero point 0.2, inverse tangent of zero point 0.2 is 11.31 degrees, inverse tangent of zero point 0.3, 16.7 degrees, and so on and so forth. If you want that talent, you just look for my playlist in trigonometry. You can have the technique there. Then for B, angle B, I use tangent of B opposite to angle B is 8, adjacent is 4, and 8 and 4 are given. So tangent of angle B is 8 over 4, and B is 63.435 degrees. If you want to check, then because we already used this, solve for angle A involving C. So you may use sine of angle A is 4 over C, and C is 4 square root of 5. Then uh, you may solve angle B by sine of angle B 8 over C to involve C. Then check if angles A and B add up to 90 degrees. So in this case, I will not do the checking anymore. You just use your calculator. 26.565 degrees plus 63.45 degrees is 90 degrees. So that checks. For the second part, to solve for A, I use tangent function. Tangent 40 degrees 15 is opposite A over adjacent 12.34. So solving for A is 12.34, tangent of 40 degrees 15, and that's 10.45 units. So next, I want to solve for C. So adjacent to 40 degrees 15, hypotenuse is C. So cosine of 40 degrees 15 minutes is 12.34 over C. Take note that I always involve the given data. So C is equal to 12.34 divided by cosine of 40 degrees 15 minutes, and that is 16.17 units. Then to solve for angle B, it is 90 degrees minus 40 degrees 15 minutes, and that's 49 degrees 45 minutes. So I'm going to check this answer by first way. I use Pythagoras theorem. Let's check if 16.17 square is equal to 10.45 square plus 12.34 square. So question mark if they are equal. So the left side is 261.5 units, the right side unit square, the right side is 265 point unit square also, so that checks. The second way of checking is to solve for B. Cosine of B is A over C, so I involve the calculated values. So cosine of B is A 10.45 over C 16.17. B should be 49 degrees 45, and using your calculator, 49 degrees 45 minutes is approximately equal to 49 degrees 44 minutes. So that is still okay, because take note that we have uh, rounded off values for A and C. They are not uh, accurate, but rounded off to two decimal places only. If you rounded that off to four decimal places, the answer would have been equal. But anyway, practically they are equal. Then for the next problem, if sine of theta is 7 over 11 in the second quadrant, find the other trigonometric functions of theta and the positive and negative values of theta. So this is the terminal side of the angle theta. So this is the positive sense because it is uh, counterclockwise. The negative sense is like that. So it is more than negative 180, but negative angle. The relationship is after we solve for theta, the negative equivalent is you just subtract 360 degrees from theta and you will have a negative value automatically. From the figure, theta is in the second quadrant, so therefore it is an obtuse angle more than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. So that should be the anticipation. Then we superimpose the right triangle here. This is 11, this is 11, the hypotenuse. Opposite is 7, y, and xa is to be computed by Pythagoras theorem. Because the terminal side of the angle is in the second quadrant, we know that the x-coordinate of the point in the second quadrant is negative. So using Pythagoras theorem, 11 square equals 7 square plus xa square. By the way, I denote this with an angle alpha and treat everything as positive because this is an acute angle. So 11 square by Pythagoras theorem equals 7 square plus xa square. Xa is plus minus square root of 11 square minus 7 square. But we drop the positive sign. We use the negative sign because we anticipate that xa is negative. So that's why xa is negative 6 square root of 2. So sine of theta, which is given, is 7 over 11. So that means the reciprocal cosecant theta is 11 over 7. So that's one answer. Then cosine of theta is xa, which is negative 6 square root of 2 divided by hypotenuse 11. Or take note, in this right triangle, we use the reference angle. Cosine is x over r. Sine of theta is y over r. Take note of that. So sine theta is 7 over 11. We already solved that. So secant theta is the reciprocal of cosine. So it is 11 over negative 6 square root of 2. And once simplified, it is negative 11 square root of 2 over 12. Just use your calculator, or to simplify secant theta, negative 11 over 6 square root of 2, multiply square root of 2 over square root of 2, you get this. Tangent theta is y over x, so 7 over negative 6 square root of 2, and 1 simplified after rationalizing the denominator, it is negative 7 square root of 2 over 12. So negative 7 square root of 2 over 12. Then cotangent, the reciprocal of this tangent here, is equal to negative 6 square root of 2 over 7. And for the angle theta, the positive value, let's solve for alpha first, the positive equivalent. Then theta is 180 degrees minus alpha. although there's a shortcut way, you have to familiar with your calculator. Your calculator for sine function will not give you an obtuse angle automatically. That's the ambiguous case of the law of sines. So again, your calculator will not give you uh, an obtuse angle automatically. It will only give you an acute angle like this one. So that's why to analyze theta, it lies in the second quadrant. Let's solve for alpha first. So from the figure, sine of alpha is 7 over 11. Let's strip all sides of this right triangle to be positive. So sine alpha equals 7 over 11. So that's why alpha is 39.52 degrees. This might be your answer if you are not thinking, if you do not think that theta is in the second quadrant as mentioned here. So that's it. But the analysis is theta should be obtuse. It lies in the second quadrant. So the positive value of theta is 180 degrees minus 39.52 degrees. And theta should be 140.48 degrees. So this is the correct answer. Then subtract 360 degrees. Then the negative equivalent angle for theta is 140.48 minus 360, and that's 200 negative 219.52 degrees. Now, if you want to know theta directly using your calculator, use this definition of cosine of theta. So for cosine or cosine law, take note, the calculator can determine the value of theta, both acute and obtuse. So if you want the direct determination of the positive value of theta, use this definition. Cosine theta is negative 6 square root of 2 over 11. Using your calculator, it will give us the correct positive value of theta, which is 140.48 degrees. So that's the limitation of your calculator. You should know the limitation of your calculator. The calculator is not that absolutely intelligent. So you have to supplement your calculator with your know-how that it will not give you obtuse angle of the angle when you use sine function. So I hope that you know that already up to this moment. So that's it for this video.